Have you ever just wished you had a roadmap for life? Some kind of manual to help navigate all the big questions about purpose and what's right and wrong? Well, for more than 1 billion people, that roadmap isn't found in philosophy or science, it's found in what they believe are direct messages from God. So today, we're going to dive into this incredible concept of divine books in the Islamic faith.
I mean, it's a question that's probably as old as humanity itself, right? When you're faced with all of life's challenges, where do you find your true north? For real guidance on how to live, who you should be, what to believe, where do we even begin to look? Well, in the Islamic tradition, the answer is, it's pretty profound. The idea is that guidance isn't something we have to figure out all on our own, but that it's actually a gift we receive, a direct line, if you will, from the divine. And look, this isn't just a simple idea. It's a deep theological concept that's been studied for centuries in amazing centers of learning, just like the Al-Tarin Madrasa in Fez, Morocco, that you see here. So how did this divine guidance actually get to us? Well, the thing is, the belief isn't that it all happened in one big flash. Instead, it was more like a series of messages, a kind of progressive revelation sent to guide humanity at different points along its journey. And these messages were delivered in the form of what are called divine books. The best way to think of them is as the literal foundation of the faith, sacred scriptures that are believed to be the actual word of God, sent down to give humanity some clear directions. Now, this is absolutely key. These books aren't seen as separate, competing things. Not at all. Instead, they're seen as forming a single, unbroken chain of revelation. Each new book is just another link, reinforcing the same core message and connecting humanity back to its divine source across the ages.
So how many major links are we talking about in this chain? While many prophets are believed to have received guidance, Islamic tradition really highlights 5 main scriptures. These are like the foundational pillars of this whole divine revelation, each one representing a major chapter in this ongoing story of guidance.
And here they are. You probably recognize a lot of them. You've got the Torah, which is known in Judaism as the Torah. Then there are the Suhuf, or the scrolls, which are believed to have been given to Abraham. The Zabur, which are the Psalms of David. The Injil, which is the gospel revealed to Jesus. And finally, the Qur'an, each one delivered through a specific prophet, but all part of the same divine conversation. When you see a physical scroll like this, a Torah scroll, it really makes the history feel tangible, doesn't it? This represents the Torah, one of the earliest, most foundational links in that chain we talked about. It's just such a powerful reminder that this isn't just abstract theology. It's a living tradition built on messages that have been treasured for thousands of years. Okay, so this brings up a really important question, right? If all these books come from the same divine source, what's the deal with the earlier text today? Well, according to Islamic belief, the answer has everything to do with context and the passage of time. Here's the core belief. It's that while all those earlier scriptures were absolutely divinely inspired, the versions we have today, they aren't in their original perfect form anymore. The idea is that over centuries of being passed down by people, bits and pieces have been lost or changed or added. And the reasoning behind this is actually fascinating. Each revelation was seen as the perfect message for its time and for its people. It's kind of like a lesson plan that's tailored perfectly for a specific classroom. It gave that community exactly what it needed to hear, right then and there, getting them ready for what was coming next. And this whole idea, this progressive, time-sensitive revelation, it's a huge deal, a real cornerstone of Islamic theology. Figuring out the sequence, the context, the relationship between all these books, that has been the subject of deep, serious scholarship for more than 1,000 years in places dedicated to religious learning. So this entire chain of revelation, this incredible story that stretches across millennia, it's all building to a powerful conclusion, a final message, one that's believed to be completely unique in its nature and, conclusive. And that final message is the Qur'an. Now, within this belief system, the Qur'an has a totally unique and protected status. It's not seen as just another link in the chain. It's seen as the final seal, and it's believed to have been preserved by God from the very same human alterations that are thought to have affected the earlier books. And that leads us to this definitive belief, that the Qur'an is the last and final divinely revealed message from God. Now, that's a statement with massive implications. It basically means the message isn't just for one tribe or one time anymore. It's considered a universal and timeless guide for all of humanity, for the rest of time. All right, so let's pull all this together. What's the big picture here? Well, it's not a story of a bunch of disconnected revelations. It's a story of a single, unbroken thread of divine guidance, one that's been carefully woven through the entire tapestry of human history. So to recap, it all starts with the core belief that guidance is a gift, and it comes through these divine books. We've seen that chain of 5 principal scriptures. We've explored the belief that while the earlier messages were perfect for their time, they weren't preserved in their original state. And it all culminates in the Qur'an, which is held to be that final, perfectly preserved and universal message for everyone. And so, that leaves us with a pretty powerful question to think about. In our world, which is constantly, sometimes dizzily, changing, what does it mean to anchor your life to a guide that's believed to be timeless and unchanging? That right there is the heart of this story of divine guidance. Thanks for digging into this with me today.